morning, everyone. I'm Kim from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union, and this is Jessica. We're here. Good morning. We're here for the Ripple Effect.
That's right.
Yay. We have another guest today.
That's right. We have a special guest from Foster the Need. Laura is here. Hello, Laura. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you girls?
Good.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
Yeah, Foster the Need. I would say a fairly new-ish organization in Howard County, but you've done some evolving over the past 8 to 9 years. Let's start from day one, or your mission and how it's evolved and what you provide for folks in our community.
Sure. So in 2018, we did a one-time project where we collected as many items as we could and donated them to as many DCS offices as we could get a hold of that needed these items. And what we found after that one-time event is that the people who donated to that wanted to know, when are we going to do that again? Because that was fun. And the people who received those donations said, this is a huge hole in our community. This is a huge thing that needs filled. And so when are you going to do that again? Or have you thought that far ahead? So we did that for the next few years, just annually, sometimes around Christmas, sometimes in the summer, just to give people something to donate to something to pour their hearts into. And then recently, our church did a build out for a fellowship hall, and we took a couple of those classrooms, and instead of making them separate classrooms, we just didn't close up that wall and used that for a new space, which we call Bravely Me Boutique. So Foster the Need is an organization that it's kind of twofold. We have stuffed duffel bags and prepared items for kids to send out into the homes for emergency situations, but we also have the boutique situation where kids can come and choose items for themselves.
And let's talk about the items and the boutique, because it sounds like this is something really special. And it doesn't seem like it's something a lot of people are doing in Indiana or around the country.
Sure. So our boutique is a place where kids can come and choose items for themselves. All the things have been donated. So when kids come, they pick everything they pick for free. They'll get a little shopping list. And then the things that we have in our boutique are, I like to tell people, things that you might find in a Target. We have clothing, shoes, hygiene items, toys, comfort items like stuffed animals and blankets, and even jewelry and makeup, skincare, seasonal items. So pretty much anything that the kid is going to need. And I check with foster parents before they come to make sure that we have the needs that are going to be filled that day.
Because sometimes when the foster children come there, they have nothing.
Correct. So what we have found when we started is that when kids are pulled out of their home and placed in a new home, sometimes they don't have anything, and sometimes they have things, but it's not fitting correctly, or it holds bad memories, or it's not clean.
Well, and to be realistic, if somebody is coming into foster care, there's been a crisis of some kind. And if there's been a crisis, then everything went in a flurry, and it went very quickly. And sometimes those things are or forgotten, or maybe they didn't have it to begin with.
Right. So what our image, or what our mission was with the boutique, is that kids would have a space where they can come in and they can see things and choose things for themselves that they feel like $1 million when they leave. So it's been really interesting to see that come to fruition when kids come.
You smiled really big when you said that.
I know. Look at her voice. She's glowing.
It just fills up my heart so much. And it's funny because our biological children have watched us build this from day one, and they help a lot in the boutique. And they always want to be there. And I always tell them, no, it's a private thing for foster families to come in. But when they do come in, they get to choose things. And when they leave with a big old shopping bag of all of their new treasures and all of their new clothing items and things, it's a big deal for them.
Right,
a lot of these kids have never been into a Walmart or a Target. So for them to be able to choose those things, and the financial lift off of the foster parents that just took on a new kiddo in their family, is a big.
What made you decide to want to start this program?
I heard the kids and stuff. So I imagine there's been some kids that have gone through your family in foster care too.
So we actually have never fostered any kids.
Okay.
This happened the one time we did the event. We said, I can see that there's a need in Howard County area for foster care support.
Right.
And this was just our way of feeling like we could give back in a way that, even though we're not foster parents today, we're hoping that we can have this support system so that foster parents feel like this is something that they can do and not feel overwhelmed.
Well, and you mentioned when we were talking previously that if kids go into foster care and it's not a family member, then there's a certain allocation for that. But maybe they go into foster care with a grandma or grandpa or an aunt and uncle. It's a little bit different and they might not have all the resources, right?
Right. So kinship care is similar to foster care, but it means that a trusted grown-up that is connected to the family, either biologically or a really long-time friend, takes that child in. And so what happens is a lot of times they don't get the same resources that the typical foster parent gets. So we do see a lot of that. They will come in for those resources. It's a big financial burden lifted off of them.
Yeah,
I bet.
I imagine it is.
I bet.
Well, and if it's a grandma or grandpa, they might be retired. They may not have that disposable income like they had when they were raising their children.
Right. And a lot of parents, or a lot of families will come in with multiple kids. So,
That they're fostering.
correct. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you, are there people that make donations for you to be able to go purchase this items? And if so, how do they do that?
So people can donate on our website at fostertheneed.org. I have also had people come in contact with us and message us and say, what do you need? We want to support you in that way. We connect with churches, schools, local businesses, companies that are local who want to support what we're doing. And so we've seen both sides. We get a pretty steady flow of just shopping bags of when people are out and about and they just pick up things off the clearance aisle.
Sure.
So those are fun to receive. We have a bin out at the front of our location where you can donate those items. But there's a space on our website as well.
And realistically, Laura might not ask this, but I am going to. You know how to spend the money most effectively. When someone makes a financial donation, you know what's needed. You know exactly how to make the most of that money. So monetary gifts are always appreciated, and sometimes those are what's most needed.
Correct. And what I find, I know I've mentioned my bio kids as well. They always go with us to shop. And so if we have a big load to get, we just recently got a big donation in, and then we took that to a store and my daughter, 7-year-old, was pushing a cart and it was above her head. It was full. That cart was full above her head and was balancing it.
It was so exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes it really special.
Man, it's got to feel good, doesn't
Oh my
it?
gosh.
It is so fun to watch it.
Now, if somebody wants to be a recipient of your program, what do they need to do?
So you can find on our website a space where you can get a hold of us, or you just email us through fostertheneed@gmail.com. And they will message me and set up a time. All of those times are private. I do one family at a time to make sure that they have their space and they have what they need.
Okay.
Where did your passion come for this?
I think knowing that we could serve kids was important to us from the start. And as we started with stuffing duffel bags with things and sending those out to DCS offices, but it felt slightly impersonal that the kid gets whatever they get in that bag. And so I just remember, as a kid, my mom always took us shopping back to school, and we always got to pick out things. And my mom would always say, "Oh, just get it. I want you to feel like $1 million." You know what I mean? And we weren't rich, but that was an opportunity for me to express myself through.
And it was special.
It was special.
And you remember it.
It was a moment, yes. And every year I looked forward to that. So I think for me to create a space where kids can have that bonding moment with their new family for a short time. And for kids to see items that feel special to them and make them feel loved.
Brand new items, right?
Everything is brand new, and everything is free to the families who come.
That's great.
That's
really
an
great.
awesome program.
It is. So how many families are you serving? How many families have you served, let's say in the last year or so?
So it's tough to say because sometimes we will pack bags for kids and send them out when they are not able to come to us. Sometimes they'll come to us and shop, and other times we leave stuff out for them and say, pick of those things, you know what I mean, if they can't meet us at a time that works. So I don't really know how many we've done in the past year. It's hard to say because we're also very, very new. We've only been open since I think April.
Well, that, and I imagine it's not just, it's families coming with one child or maybe a few children. Yeah. So it's a lot of work.
It is, but it's so fun. the first little one that came, she hugged us and the mom got teary, and it was such a good experience for all of us in the room, for us to know that what we're doing makes a difference. And for that mama to know that she can come back next time and have that opportunity again with a new foster kid.
That's great.
What an exciting thing, because it's something, it's probably not offered any place else. I mean, it may be, but it may be not spoken about. And for you to offer this and reach out, and what you're doing is just amazing work. So thank you for taking care of these kids that probably needed that little extra, hey, it's got to be about me. And nobody really, thinks about that. And you did. And your family did. So thank you for doing that.
I also think it's really interesting and worth mentioning that we need more people who maybe haven't been directly affected by things to step up for things that they want to help with and that they're passionate about. So if it's kids, you weren't in foster care growing up, were you?
No.
Okay. So you still have that connection and you still want to help those children. So even if it's not a personal connection, it's still heart-to-heart connection. You care about the kids even if you don't know them.
Yes, and to that, I've also seen kids come in and they're not foster. They have donated to the boutique and they come in just to visit or just to see it. And I've seen kids say, Mom, we picked that out. We donated that and it made it on the shelf and someone's going to pick it. It is such a full round experience of heartwarming on all angles of it for everyone in the community.
And you're showing your kids what it feels like to be generous and to help people who might need a little hand. That's great.
Thank you.
So, okay, so you're located. Do you want to tell us where you're located, or is it more of a private thing since the families come by appointment?
So we are located as part of a church. It's not really a secret because families come and they have their own time and their own space there. And also you can't get into that space from our church. It's it's inside the building, but it's separated out. But we're a part of the church called Maple Grove Community Church. It's over on Boulevard. And you can donate there. And you can meet me there to donate, but also families come there to shop in the very back.
So I imagine a lot of folks within your church are generous and donate, but we need more donations. We always need more donations. So if there's anything that you need, maybe folks can't make a cash donation, but they can donate personal care items. Do you want full-size things? Do you want the travel size? Is there anything in particular that you're looking for that?
So we do have a list of all the things that we accept on our website. And typically we do full-size items because we all know that
you're not just traveling,
Right.
Yeah. So, and each company will do something different. I've had dance studios donate shoes because that fit with them. Sure. And I've had preschools donate hygiene items, and churches and schools come together and donate whatever fits for them. So it's really up to the companies to decide what works for them. We just ask that it's new for the mission of what.
Yeah, right. Well, and it's restore dignity because it's a really, really hard time for all the parties involved.
Right.
And a bright spot.
And again, if you have a child that is a foster child and needs assistance or needs any clothing, then reach out to your program and contact them. And what would the website be again, or a phone number?
fostertheneed@gmail.com is our email. And fostertheneed.org is our website.
Well, and Laura, if you reach out to her, I imagine she'll have all sorts of things that you can help her with. If you have a passion for this, right? Yeah.
Or make a monetary donation to help that child.
Yeah. It's a very easy way to help a child, especially a child who didn't get dealt a very good hand, who needs a little bit extra love and who deserves it for sure. So I think it's really great. I'm so happy that you're doing it.
Thank you.
What a
very exciting
a gap to fill within our community, because if you're outside of it and you are just day to day, sometimes it's hard to remember that there are children, babies,
correct,
that are struggling, that aren't being taken care of, that need some help, and it's our job as a community to take good care of them.
You're right.
And they're in our backyards. They're in our schools, at our churches.
They're children's friends
with our kids.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
They really are.
Yeah, they're our future.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're our future.
They are. We got to take good care of them. Mm-hmm. We absolutely do. Mm-hmm. Laura, if we need any more information, I know you mentioned the website. If folks are looking to volunteer, donate, website is the first stop.
Yep, we have a Facebook page too. Just type in Foster the Need and it'll pop right up.
That sounds great. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm really excited to see all the great work you guys do.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We do. That'll wrap up the Ripple Effect for today. I'm Jessica Osbrook. This is Kim Graves, and we're from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union.